Elves, everyone's favorite fantasy race. They're tall, blonde, white, most of the time. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any good elf content lately, as modern media often portrays them as the kids from the Magical Bus cartoon.
Excuse me, sir. We were just wondering, any particular reason why you're here?
Today we're going to change that in Realms of Exether, with the generous support of the many elf enthusiasts generously sponsoring the channel, assuring me that I definitely downloaded the right Lord of the Rings movie. Welcome to Teferet, everyone's favorite elf country, placed at the center of the world. And we have our very own power block, the Lomia Customs Union, with two friendly elf countries, and a human one who are certainly elf allies. Now of course this mod had plenty of changes since the last time we played. Now we have a race icon next to the culture, so we can clearly see who is an elf, who is human and who is dragon, which is quite convenient. Now we are obsessed with porcelain, which is pretty cool. I love porcelain, and I'm definitely not addicted to it. I can stop snorting it whenever I want. We also have elf beauty, which gives us more influence, naval power projection, and infamy decay, which are standard bonuses for being hot. Now of course our dirt human friends don't have any of those. Instead, they're obsessed with tea, and have pretty unrealistic bonuses. Now of course we have to deal with the brand new update stuff, such as straits. And here we have our personal Strait of Hormuz, because if anyone closes this one, it's all over for us. However, if you dream of a world where you can close all of the straits, there's quite a lot of them. Holy smokes. Now we are a majocratic monarchy, ruled by our Grand Magister, Petas Natentu Amie. Now legally speaking, this is very much mage country. The mages run the government, the administration, the schools, pretty much everything important except for the economy. We should definitely change that by enacting artificer guilds. Now I don't know if that's any good, but I'm certainly willing to try it. Now the research tree is absolutely massive and I have no idea where to begin. Luckily for us, we have very powerful magics. This time I'm going for the Sphinx, which gives us tech spread migration quotas, university throughput ahead of time penalties, and more qualifications. For now we should get more qualifications and technology spread. Interest-wise, we are surrounded by many evil humans, such as the Vile Tirau, who are not only our rivals, but also the main perpetrators of half-elves. Gross! We have to immediately demand they transfer their elf subject. I've watched the evil things they do to them in that Lord of the Rings movie you guys send me. Now the mage units also have some changes. Mainly, we have to produce mage weapons for them as well, which makes sense. How am I supposed to cast Incinerate without grabbing my magical balls? Crap! Arador has also joined them. Now luckily for us, they have national militia, which means it will take a while for them to mobilize. Unlike Tyril, who have peasant levies. I feel like we got this. Now the main military plan is to be constantly on the offensive, as that way we get the full bonus of our magical supremacy. And once we roast all of these potato farmers, we shall be victorious. Airships, hell yeah, start producing them immediately. And we get our first mandate, allowing us to unify all of our markets. Now I know what you guys are thinking, isn't incinerating potato farmers on the battlefield a war crime? As you're all probably aware, Incinerate is a military grade spell from the Forbidden Tome of Cerium. Use of such spells is strictly forbidden, making it a regular crime, so don't think about it. Arador has surrendered. Fear not you guys, we got this. Now I know some of you are worried about the financial cost to this massive war. However, once we are victorious, not only that we shall be able to free our elven brothers, but Tiral shall pay us $300 billion in reparation, which will certainly complement our brand new magical economy. Fuck the capitalists, that's what I always say. Now then, we can enact anti-strike laws, as I promised the trade unions. And this isn't a democracy, I always keep my promises. There you go guys, freedom for our elf brethren and $300 billion, just as promised. Wait a minute, the stupid half-elves of Ranor decided to join the humans. Get with these stupid ugly humans and their smoke. Classic disgusting abominations, am I right guys? Bone China, my favorite thing to snort. You guys know what that means. It's time for our very first company, the Porcelain Gate Fineries. As today we're going for a proper consumer economy. I'm not just picking them because they can produce a special type of porcelain that can really make your brain go kaboom, if you guys know what I'm saying. And airships, I mean, are you really rich if you don't have elaborate parties on your massive blimp with tons of 60-year-olds? What? Don't judge me, I like them young. Of course, our main goal is to form Elfostan, everyone's favorite elf country. Trade unions fixed, and we get a brand new mandate, so I'm going to get the unique pillar of solidarity. Now the way discrimination in this mod works is a bit different, as currently we're on cultural exclusion, which means we're tolerant towards all other elf cultures. However, we discriminate against the lesser races, and I believe as the good guys we should be tolerant. Listen guys, humans are genetically more prone to stealing. It's in their nature, and they can't help it. And now we should get colonial exploitation, as we're currently bordering uncolonized territories. As for the mage's ideologies, we are currently selfish liberals, elitists, and arcanophile, which makes perfect sense as we're the best people on the planet and everyone else can go
Kaboom!
themselves. We also have to stop building for a bit, as we're currently having 8.4% interest rate. Magical Jesus! Now I'm not sure if we're going to get a lot of reinvestment, but I certainly hope so. Otherwise, we're gonna be
Kaboom!
Oh no, the evil humans are waging wars again, which leaves us no choice. We have to invade our other human neighbors. What if they decide to attack us first? Currently, they are vassals of the Astral Consortium, who are this tiny flying island in the middle of the lake. This is a special country with attractively low taxes, that's why they have a bunch of super powerful companies. However, they don't have an army or anything. So we're taking all of their vassals. What are they gonna do? Send the children against my armies? Hilarious. They back down, obviously, as an army of 50-year-old children can't possibly stop our elite troops. Oh no, wait, 50-year-olds are adult humans. I almost forgot. I'm sorry guys, I judge them to be evil, based on the information that they constantly import 12-year-olds from Eastern Europe, but seeing that they're humans, that's probably normal for them. Remember guys, you always have to be tolerant against the lesser peoples. I mean, they have to work 3 lifetimes to buy a house. Can you imagine? That would be crazy. Not as crazy as the exotic fabric price.
Kaboom!
How am I supposed to make a proper consumer industry with these supply shocks? I'm sorry guys, I've been quite cynical during this episode. I should probably find creative ways to censor it. Now looking at the map, we have a neighboring country that produces tons of exotic fabric. However, they have a closed market, so we shall invade them and take their capital. Now this might sound too aggressive, however, we can get Solidarity level 2, which cements us as the good guys even if we do cast Mass Diarrhea, everyone's favorite forbidden spell, from the tone of Xanax the Great. They back down. Well, there you go guys, we've achieved our military aims of controlling the strategically important spider mines. Remember guys, if you want to work here, make sure you never get bitten by Spider-Man, as that would give you super detective powers, just like Nicolas Cage. However, you will also get an irresistible urge to climb into people's homes at night and steal from their safe, as your DNA will change to become more spider and more human. Now I know what you guys are thinking, what are elf politics like if people can vote? Well, let's find out by enacting wealth voting. And finally, with Solidarity level 3, we can have all of our elves to be venerated in our society. Wait, what? Okay, so even though our primary culture isn't the most accepted one, which is hilarious, we can't actually get to venerated status unless we have more than 155 acceptance. That's quite brutal. Also, we can't start colonizing until we research Celestial Premonition, or if we want to colonize on the other side, we're going to need flamethrowers. Also, this is the homeland to a bunch of feral elves who are obsessed with fruits, explosives. Finally, we can properly mine flammable solids, microplastics, and rare earths, exactly what our industry needed. Now I know what you guys are thinking, but that increases mortality rate of children in the mines by up to 30%. However, we live in the fantasy world, which means we have a variety of hunting lodges, where your children can become adventurers and suffer a mortality rate of 150%. Granted, we live in civilized country, so we don't have many of those, meaning monster essence will be a natural bottleneck to our economy. However, we can always buy them from abroad, allowing foreign children to sacrifice themselves for our economic gain. God bless globalism. Wealth voting. Alright, let's get the elections rolling. Tell me guys, who would you vote for in this case? And finally we got the Porcelain Gate Porcelain, my favorite. Also, we get plenty of bonuses in the luxurious clothing and furniture output. The liberals managed to win. Is this who you voted for? That's what I thought. And now we have a brand new Archmage. Solib Sot. And looking at the radicals, I can confidently say many people didn't vote for that guy. Classic democracy. We should also get poor laws. Remember guys, it's not enough to simply give privileges to the rich. You must actively take privileges from the poor. Otherwise, you're doing elitism the wrong way. And we can have another magic. I guess we're going to get more maximum innovation and university throughput.
Kaboom!
In Starwalking, people are rebelling. Well, there goes my luxurious goods supply chain. Obviously, I have to call my allies for help, as this hurts all rich people, not just the Teferet one. And this gives us an opportunity to cast the forbidden spell Breadlinicus Explodicus from the forbidden tome of Miłoszewicz the Bulldozer. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Is every military grade spell forbidden? Of course it is. You can't just cast whatever you want in the middle of the street. What is this? Fantasy America? Can you imagine? You are at the tender age of 67, about to graduate high school, and someone just cast Machinicus Gunnicus. That would suck.
Kaboom!
The poor. That's what I always say.
Kaboom!
The rich and increase their taxes. I also say that a lot. And now we're getting the Tefereti Airship Fellowship, who will produce super amazing zeppelins. Oh no, our allies Anwerf have committed Aungzit. This is so disappointing. Oh no, wait, we're not the European Union. Attack them immediately. My other elf allies and the half-elves are also helping them. This is it guys, the elf civil war. But fear not, we can easily win this one, as I know a forbidden spell. Instacus Scurvicus, from the forbidden tome of Elizabeth the Battery. It causes the enemy to bleed out of every pore simultaneously. It's pretty effective on the battlefield. The only downside is that we have to fight in a literal river of blood. We managed to raise taxes. However, I had to make quite a lot of promises, so we have to enact the right of assembly and abolish the healthcare system. Listen guys, we can't rely on magical priests to heal all of our wounds and diseases. I mean, think about it. What's the main goal of every healthcare system? That's right, being profitable. So we can't just funnel government funds into these lazy bureaucrats who are mooching off the government's tit. I mean, yes, they have like magical cleric powers, so they can easily heal everyone anyway for free. But that's not something Elf Jesus would have wanted. Finally, we can use magical tools to make more chairs. It is the most earnest dream of every mage to make furniture factories super profitable. Damn it, we need more magical tools. And Anwerf is finally under our supervision, as they clearly can't make the right decision, and it is our moral obligation to make those decisions for them. If we let them to their own devices, millions will die. Another election cycle. Hey, where's my poll data? I mean, they're all neck and neck, so it's anyone's game at this point. The radicals in Tirau are revolting. Unfortunately, we couldn't support them. However, the radicals are also revolting in Arador, allowing us to establish a friendly regime to our east. Besides, I'm just dying to try a brand new forbidden spell, Frenchicus Kingicus, from the forbidden tome of Bourbon de Louis. Unfortunately, Aachen has joined our enemies, which means the
Kaboom!
Strait is no longer open for us, and the liberals managed to win. It seems that we can't have a stable government, and our archmage, Solib Sot, has to deal with a deadlock. Classic democracy. At least the war won't last too long, and just like that, it's business as usual. No, wait, Ebridor took the leadership of the Astral Consortium, and they just kicked everyone out. Well, there goes one hostile faction. We have a coup, and the Thieves Guild is running amok. That's not good. But on the bright side, we have great relations with the new Arador government, who are happy to allow our merchants to sell all of our bestest products. Additionally, they're willing to hand over their entire navy. Remember guys, the new Aradorian president is super good at making deals. I mean, that's such a good deal, I simply can't resist. And just like that, we tripled the size of our navy. Oh no, Brigadier General Trust is in an open opposition to the government. Damn you, Brigadier General, I trusted you. Which means we're going to keep the charity hospitals and get per capita taxation. You piece of
Kaboom!
I was about to pay off all of our debt, but now we're in the red. Therefore, everyone shall be free to post memes about Brigadier General Trust in the form of signs on the middle of the street. My favorite meme format. And of course this means new elections and a sharp poll boost for the liberals. And it seems we have a wishstone shower, which gives us quite a lot of bonuses. This is most certainly an omen, and the liberals managed to win, giving 4 more years to Archmage Solib Sot. Hopefully he doesn't get good again. Pan-nationalism, alright. Our great Archmage Solib Sot can form everyone's favorite country, Eptetilia. commonly known as Elfostan, giving us a nice shade of blue. Alright guys, it is time for us to form the Elven Union. This of course allows us to unite with our southern elf brothers. To celebrate, we managed to open our very first airship dock, which allows us access to the world market, even if we don't have access to the sea. I'm not sure how it works with a brand new trade system, but hopefully it helps. Additionally, we get claims to all the provinces with majority elf population, allowing us to start spreading separatist propaganda, which will intensify racial tensions in our southern neighbors. And of course, once we annexed the south, we are now top exporters of pipeweed. And just look at that trade surplus, elf Jesus! Primarily because the things we need to import are very cheap. Finally, the right to post analog memes. And now we can finally strike at the Thieves Guild. We managed to destroy them. And you know what? They were all primarily humans, just as I thought. And you guys kept saying stuff like discriminating against humans pushes them into poverty, which provokes criminal behavior, but they already behave like criminals, so discriminating against them feels justified. And the magical private sector is growing, which means we have to double our construction. We also have to start taxing the rich, because I fundamentally don't respect Brigadier General Truss. Have you seen the memes about this guy? Additionally, we can switch some of our construction sectors to use rare earths, allowing us to save some iron. And Arador is having yet another civil war, which means we have to support the brand new government. I mean, it worked well for us the first time. Besides, I want to try our brand new spell. Brigadier General Truss is trying another coup. What an...
Kaboom!
Oh, I'm sorry guys. He's a major general now, but I had enough of his
Kaboom!
So I'm kicking him out of the army, which failed the coup, because he's a loser. Peacekeeping mission engaged. We can also start colonizing, allowing us to cockblock Selenet as our allies. I'm sure they won't mind. And we heroically managed to bring peace to the east. Speaking of Arador, they're now a chiefdom with cooperative ownership. It's time for more elections, and the Arcane Party shot up the polls the same way they shot up those Aradorian civilians. And the liberals managed to win, but we have a brand new Archmage, Saint Lurser. In your face, civilian Truss. Alright then, it is time for us to free ourselves from being hostages to the
Kaboom!
Strait. This does mean we have to invade Unworth again, because even though they're under elf management, they're still rebelling. However, we can make a deal with Oanzor, which will allow our troops to cross the border and steal all of their jobs of managing the strait. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've been thinking about government bureaucrats sucking on the government's tit, and I've decided we should get a public health insurance. We've defeated Unsworth, and now we have to step in and help them against their revolt, because they had 2 months without our supervision, and they're already falling apart. Humans, am I right guys? And we've annexed Tinder. As for their surviving soldiers, we shall shoot them in the back of the head just to be safe. Which means we own half of the
Kaboom!
Strait. And you know what? I'll treat myself to some toes. Anima generators. Honestly, this is the best thing about this mod, because you can electrify before the game is literally over. Wait, what? We can survey the Suez Isthmus. I guess we can build a channel somewhere. That's new and exciting. And we actually have access to the Astro Consortium. Remember them? The guys on the flying Epstein Island. We can now allow all of their companies to invest in us. You know what? I'll take the partnership. And the Wanzur are ready to join the EU. And now the doctors can focus on saving lives, which seems to have disturbed the ectoplasm market, which is a vital resource for our anima generation. But fear not you guys, we have plenty of hunted grounds, employing adventurers who will risk life and limb slaying evil spirits and collect their essence. Not to mention that all of the adventurers who die in combat will also become spirits, allowing future adventurers to harvest them, creating a perfect feedback loop. So we can have infinite electricity. It's time for more elections and another coup. Guys, we really need to tone down the rhetoric, as this is tearing our society apart. So next time when you hear someone express concerns about the efficacies of harvesting immortal souls in order to create electricity and increase productivity, tell them to go
Kaboom!
themselves. And the straight people are rebelling. Good thing we executed all of their soldiers. And you guys thought I was being unethical for doing that. But thanks to my previous decisive actions, we can save people people now. The Liberal Party managed to win, and we have Solip Sot back in the Archmage office. And you know what, guys? I've been thinking about these evil bureaucrats sucking on the government's tit. Honestly, I should have never allowed it to happen. But I see the error of my ways now. We simply have to abolish the police in favor of a pest control system. Think about it, guys. We're paying so much money for this unprofitable police system. However, the adventurers themselves will solve all of the crime by using the power of the free market. I mean, look at this rebellion, for example. Clearly, these people have had enough of nameless, faceless government bureaucrats having the power to decide whether a crime has been committed or not. I mean, such an absurd, unjust system, specifically designed to take the freedom away from the average person. I almost feel sorry for the civilians we're about to slaughter, because deep down they might have a point. And we've completed a survey allowing us to build the Ogre Suez Canal. Hilarious. And now we can actually use God's blood, so we can increase our Jarro Piss production. As you're all probably aware, Jarro Piss is the very backbone of our mining industry, and Wanzor has plenty of God's blood deposits. And the Aconite proletarian revolt managed to win, giving us a golden opportunity to finally take full control of the
Kaboom!
Strait. Don't worry, guys, we got this, as we are currently the #1 hegemon of the fantasy world. Also, what happened to the Demonian Empire? Something really bad definitely happened, and the Psot airship has been selected as the very special venue for an upper class ball. Wait a minute, we can get +30 army offensive for the next 2 years. That's right, you guys, our army will have 80 offensive, because our dear Archmage Solip Sot had a very fancy ball on his $1 billion airship. Well, this leaves us no choice. We have to use this golden opportunity to conquer the world. And we can also start using airships, and from up here I can clearly see that 10% of all crime is committed by humans. The Demonian Empire is threatening to cut us down to size. What a bunch of Dumbmonians, am I right, guys? Anyway, it is time for us to use the forbidden spell. Damn, have you seen the ball on that blimp? From the forbidden tome of the local newspaper, written by our Archmage, Solip Sot. And Alken has capitulated, which finally gives us full control over the
Kaboom!
Strait and their North Pole colonies. Oh no, my allies have committed treasonzit, which means I have to murder them all, as my market is in shambles. We currently have a truce, another coup, damn it, just as our war with the Dumbmonians has started. Obviously, we have to fire that guy. Damn it, the coup is successful, and now we have a private school system. But worst of all, we still have to contend with these evil government bureaucrats in the police. Of course, we have brand new elections, and the liberals won, but without the industrialists. Which means we have a brand new Archmage, Saint Lurcer. Again, as petty revenge against the industrialists, I'm increasing their taxes, and our enemies are capitulating one after another, as they cannot withstand the mind-shattering ball. I mean, it was pretty fucking good. And of course, we are ready to invade the traitors. They just gave up. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, that ball was something else. Anyway, shoot all of their soldiers, just to be safe. Now then, looking at the State of the Union, everyone is our subject, which means unifying the market doesn't actually do anything. So we're going to get yet another company. Everyone, welcome to the Heptatilian Artificer Consortium. Also, we can get God's Blood from our North Pole colonies, Battle Mages, everyone's favorite military upgrade. Seeing that we're winning by quite a lot, we're going to invite one of our vassals into the war, so we can invade Ebridor. And we only have 105 attack. Magical Jesus. And Tirau capitulated, just as we were about to declare bankruptcy. However, now we can mortgage all of their properties. God bless magical capitalism. With this brand new fiscal space, we can finally invade Arador. I mean, do you guys remember how they supported our enemies at the very beginning of the game? That's right, I've been holding a grudge this entire time. And we researched Nimbium, which allows us to build Cloud Silver collectors, which complements our steel construction. Also, latest research shows more than 35% of all separatist movements are led by humans. But can't say I'm surprised, as all humans are dirty criminals, and the data proves it. Arador capitulates, allowing us to mortgage their land as well. And we can establish another company. And you know what? I'll choose the classic, Jaro Piss. Everyone's favorite. Abridor capitulated. And just look at that fiscal space. We should continue expanding to our south.
Kaboom!
The rich. And of course, it is time for us to
Kaboom!
the poor. As I truly hate these benefit scroungers, it is time for us to put them to use in our mutagenic trials. And the Dumbmonians are giving up. Because they're dumb. Ravik is declaring war. Damn it, they're all the way over there. But I'm sure that's nothing we can't handle. And we get even more construction, which will certainly help against Bozarat. And the war with Ravik has started, although they seem to be busy with a civil war. Wait a minute, they have robot people. That's pretty cool. And we're getting more elections, but everyone is a liberal, which cements St. Lurcer's archmagianship. Yet another victory, which gives us a perfectly good reason to invade Aachen. I'm sorry guys, I'm in so much debt. I have no choice but to play violent Monopoly at this point. However, we have to stop the mutagenic trials, as I'm facing a massive revolt, and we have to enact regulatory bodies first. And as the war heats up, because it was cold up to this point, I know what you guys are thinking. Did we actually manage to build the Ogre Suez Canal? Of course we did, and it's amazing. Woo! Okay, fine, I was just distracting you from the massive Aradorian revolt. Also, we have to completely destroy Tirau and all of their vassals. Alright, now I know you guys are questioning the murder everyone policy. However, have you considered that we finally have do-dats? Wow, they do that. Which means we're justified, obviously. I mean, come on guys, what's the alternative? Just look at that. All of the Tyralian people are revolting. What's their problem? Realistically, if they were the good guys, they would never resort to violence. And with the threat of the southern humans eliminated, we shall no longer justify violence. Instead, we shall lower taxes and ignore the violence. And we're starting to produce ultralight airships. Wow, what a marvel of engineering. The humans could never invent something like that, because we destroyed all of their governments, institutions, or any meaningful ways to organize. And we got regulatory bodies, which means we can actually enact multiculturalism. At this point, I would do anything for the voices of rebellion to stop. And now we just have to invade the Dragon Io during the next elections, and we can start producing strength potions. Finally, you guys, anabolic steroids for kids in the coal mines, my favorite flavor. And the Free Trade Party managed to win. Wait a minute, Archmage Solipsot won the elections all by himself. Damn, that guy's so good. He managed to reorganize our entire economy, which is currently booming. Start the fantasy world war of elf dominance. He's currently conquering the Dragon Isle. Won the elections all by himself. At this point, I can't help but wonder, what am I doing with my life? The Dragon Isles gave up, and all we have to do now is destroy Ravik. I mean, I guess we can also annex Seleneth. I mean, they're communists and everything. Multiculturalism, finally! We can focus on the real legislation, such as making poor homeless people into test subjects for our crazy alchemy experiments. Now this will slowly convert our lower strata into mutants, which is a small price to pay for. Anyway, now we are enacting Arcane Ascendancy, which will elevate our mage population even further in our society. And we managed to invade random country neighboring Ravik, so we can use their territory in order to invade Ravik. And now, with Arcane Ascendancy, we can finally get venerated status. No, we can't. Well, there goes my elitist power fantasy. Anyway, it's time for more elections. The liberals managed to win. Wait a minute. Solipsot lost. And now we have a brand new Archmage. Halbut Kankut. Now he is a Starwoken, which makes him our Obama. Damn it, I was about to end the war. I mean, listen guys, we're still winning the war, but I'm just saying, if we don't have an elf as commander-in-chief, we should probably dial down the offensives, so we don't accrue unnecessary casualties. And would you look at that, it's time for another election cycle. Wow, time sure flies when you're having fun, and it seems that the liberal support fell down a cliff. Thanks, Obama. I mean, the Liberal Party managed to win, barely. So now we have a brand new Archmage, a Nirdos Rentan Pone. Oh my god guys, a major breakthrough on the front line. Wow, we completely destroyed Ravik, and now all of their vassals are proud members of the Elven Union. Well, there you go guys, we managed to achieve our wildest elf fantasies, except for a profitable police police force. But at least we have a for-profit education system, which is so much better than the previous Hogwarts system, where kids get to pay with their lives. Now they're going to pay with money before they lose their lives, which is so much better. Until next time.